Good morning. So today we're going to be doing some kind of mixing some concepts, some old stuff with the new things you learned about science. So that is the key idea today. We're going to add rational numbers. A lot of these concepts you should have learned already. However, I know now we're going to be also applying those sign rules, so the rules of signs for these problems. So not only are you having to do what's old, you're having to apply what's new. So I'm going to go through a few of these examples, but before that, I want to just do a quick review summary of what those sign rules are. So the sign rules for addition and subtraction are basically lumped into two categories. We can have same sign if they have same sign. So that's like saying a positive plus a positive or a negative plus a negative. Okay, there's two things we have to do. We have to say, what do we do with the numbers? What do we do with the sign? What do we do with the numbers? What do we do with the sign? All right, so the numbers, what we're going to do is just simply add them. Add the absolute values of them. So -7 plus a -7. I'm just adding 7 and 7. I get 14. Okay, and then I'm going to give the sign they share. They share the negative, so it's going to be -14. Okay, so you add the numbers, the absolute value of the numbers, which just basically means the numbers without the signs, and then what sign do they share? You put that, and then you're done. So it's a two-part problem. And so if you're looking at different signs, okay, so we're looking at adding plus a positive plus a negative, or a negative plus a positive. We can kind of see that's the same thing. Okay, we're going to subtract those numbers, subtract the absolute values, and then we're going to attach the sign that had more. So let's say we had -6 plus 8. We're going to subtract those. Now, when I subtract them, I say, well, I have 8 and I have 6. So I'm looking at the absolute values. Remember that you put the bigger number on top when we subtract. Now, 8 minus 6, you didn't necessarily need to do that, but in any case, the bigger number goes on top. And this minus is a subtract. It's not reflective of that. 8 minus 6 is 2, so we're going to have 2. And which one had more? Negative had 6, positive had 8. We had more positives, so my answer is positive 2. So that is a review of those sign rules, because if you don't know those, then you're going to have a really difficult time doing the rest of this lesson. So take some time to watch that a few more times. All right, adding rational numbers. Okay, what you're going to notice here over to the side, and it's always a good idea to do this, is to estimate. Well, how does this -8 thirds become -3 plus 1? Well, -8 thirds is a mixed number. Now, is an improper fraction. So the nice thing about this, we can make this a mixed number. It goes in there 2 times with a remainder of 2 thirds. So really, isn't that almost 3? So we estimate. So we say it's -3, and then 5/6 is almost 1. So then we estimate and say that's 1. So what that's saying is then I've got -3 plus 1. We should be in our answer close to the ballpark of -2. And so it's good to estimate, kind of take that step back and say, what should our answer be close to? All right, so now we do this. So our fraction rules don't go away. So we need to have like denominators. So, okay, and we don't. Okay, so we have -8 thirds plus 5/6. So the first thing I look is, can I make this into that? And yeah, the answer is yes. I can simply multiply by 2, multiply by 2. So I'm going to bring that down because that's kind of crazy to write that. Now, I'm going to show you that something I did. Oops, having some problems. It's kind of some lag here. I want to show you something I did. There was a negative here that was right by the line, saying this whole thing's negative. Notice I just bumped that up to the 8. It's the same thing. So just keep that in mind. When you have the negative on the fraction, it can just bump up to the numerator. Okay, so I multiplied those by 2. And again, the whole point of doing that was to get that like denominator. So negative 8 times 2 is negative 16 over 6 plus 5 over 6. And then we do the math. Okay, I do know it's going to be over 6. I'm just going to go ahead and combine these. So negative 16 plus 5. That's the math we have to do. Okay, so I go back to my sign rules and I recognize I have a negative 16 and a positive 5. So those are different signs, so I need to subtract. Okay, so I've got 16 minus 5. That's going to be 11. So I have 11. So two things I do. What do I do with the number? I subtract. Which one had more? Well, the negatives had 16 and the positives had 5. So we had more negatives. Negative 11 sixths. Now we know that that is almost negative 2. Because so we know that's true. So we can circle that as our answer. We can leave it in rational form. If you're doing Get More Math, probably going to have to make this a mixed number. So 6 goes into 11 one time with a remainder of 5 over 6. And that's negative 1 and 5 6. That's almost negative 2. Okay, so that's how we do those problems. And now we have decimals. So it's the same idea. Okay, we look at this, and it's actually easier. We don't have to get like denominators. Yes. Okay, so sign. So the signs are different. Okay, so our signs are different. So that means, well, let's do a quick thing. Okay, let's do our estimate. Okay, so I've got negative 4 plus, that's about 7.5. So I'm going to say 7. And so negative 4 plus 7, that's about 3. Now, it is going to be, this was 7.5. It's probably almost 7.5, kind of closer to 8. What would happen if I get negative 4 plus 8? I would get 4. So it's going to be somewhere between 3 and 4. Okay, so that's my estimate. So if I get something different than that, then I know something's wrong. All right, so I have to subtract. Now I look at this and I go, okay, 7 is the bigger number and 4, not even looking at the negative in front. So I'm going to put the 7.62 on top, and then I'm going to subtract 4.05. Okay, got to borrow. 12 minus 5 is 7. That's 5. 5 is 5. 0.7 minus 4 is 3. Okay, so I get 3.57. So then I go back, two things, always two things. What's the number going to be? What do I do with the numbers? What do I do with the signs? Okay, so I had the negatives had 4, the positives had 7, the positives had more, so this is going to be positive 3.57. Okay, cool. So that is how to do that. I'm going to do a more detailed version of this video a little bit later on, and I'll get that posted up. But that's basically what you're doing. Try these on your own problems. They will be on the notes when I post them up, and see what you do. I'll try to put the answers down below so you can check yourself. All right. Now, like I said, I will change up the video and actually add the step-by-step of all the on your own problems. So we've got 6 problems for on your own, but I want you guys to give it a try. I'll probably post that later on after after lunch. Okay. So give it a try, see how you do. I think you guys can figure most of these out. There are a couple of tricks, like number 3, get the whole number. So yeah, we'll figure it out. Okay. All right.